Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you guys can predict data using previous data. So over here, you can see that I'm using this power consumption of this city. I am sorry, I cannot pronounce it. But anyways, let's get started. So we have to import some libraries. So let's do that, and then I'll explain what these are. Okay, so the first one is pandas, which allows you to read CSV files and like any data type files. And then there's sklearn, and we're just getting our linear model or our machine learning model from that. If you run it, we shouldn't have any problems. We're good. Now, let's read the data and pre-process it. So over here, you can see that there's this date time zone 2 and zone 3. I don't want that. I only want these three. And also, just a quick side note, I did rename these. So this was temperature, humidity, this was wind speed, this was general diffuse flow, and this was diffuse flow, and this was zone 1 consumption. So just rename them if you want. I think it'll be better if you just rename them using like Excel, like I'm using, or like whatever you Mac users have. Anyways, what we want to do is we're going to create a variable, and we're gonna read the CSV. So let's do that. And the CSV in question here is power.csv. I changed the CSV's name as well. Like if we go to data folder here, you see that it's a different name. I changed it to power.csv. You can do that if you want. Now we're gonna do df, which equals so we're gonna drop some content from the CSV. So what we're gonna drop is we want to first drop. So we first want to drop date time, zone 2, zone 3. We only want zone 1. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to copy and paste it from here. So date time, and then zone 2 power consumption, and then zone 3 power consumption. So let me get that. Okay, let's see if there are any errors. Okay, so why I purposely did this error for you guys. Why we get this error is because we don't have an axis. Now, what does it mean by that? We have to. This pandas is not that smart. No offense to pandas. You need to specify that it's a column in question. The axis is columns because we want to get rid of the columns. If we wanted to get rid of the rows, that'd be a different story. We would put rows there, right? So let's run this again. Okay, now why we get this again is probably because I put 2 arrays instead of 1. Run. As you can see, yeah, I keep making that silly mistake. Anyways, now we can continue. Alright, so now if we run a df, if we like see what's happening, you see that we got rid of the date time and all of that other junk that we didn't need. Okay, that's it. That's only what we need to do. Of course, there are other pre-processing methods I have to do. Like let's say if there's missing values, you're gonna have to figure out those missing values using median, right? There could be maybe like it could be like 5, like it could be in written form, but linear regression does not take any non-numerical values. They have to be all numbers. So you have to use uh W2P, I believe. not that. Word to number. Yeah, see? So this is basically where you change a number, like a word number, to an actual numerical value. So there's a lot of stuff you may have to do. But for this, we have been blessed. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to train our data set. Okay, we're going to train our data set. So in order to train our data set, what we have to do, hold up, let me turn on the lights. Wait a second. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to train the data set. Okay, so in order to train the data set, we first need an x and y value. Okay, so let's make that. So x is going to equal everything other than the target value, which is c in our case. So what we're going to do is we are going to do df.draw and c, and make sure to specify the axis. Don't want to make the same mistake again. And if we run it, no errors. Perfect. Okay, now y. Y is going to be only our value. So that's going to be df dot c. Okay, let's run this again. No errors again. Perfect. Now what we can do is we use we use the fit method to put x and y together, and this is actually where we train the data set. Now if we run this again, you should see linear regression or something that shows that this has been done. It has been trained. Now you have to make sure you keep this every single time you run it. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to be predicting the data. Okay, now in order to predict the data, we're going to do reg.predict. Yeah, and in reg.predict, we want to make sure it's a 2D object because it has to be 2D array. Now let's open this again. Make this a little like this. Perfect. So you can see that the first thing is temperature, then humid, then WS, GDF, and then DF. So you have to make sure you go in that specific way. So for temperature, I want it to be 6.789. There you go. For humid, I want it to be 7798. 7798. For wind speed, I want it to be 0.083. 0.0834. And for general diffuse flow, I want it to be 0.448. 0.448. And for diffuse flow, I just want it to be 0.13. 0.13. Now we put this in a variable called prediction and call that variable out. Run that, and you can see that you have successfully predicted something. Thank you for watching. I hope you loved my video. See you guys in another episode. Bye.